Let's get straight then to our Wizards of the Large Trade, Ramesh Damani's signature show returns with a fresh breeze. We caught up with the man himself and quizzed him about the investor mood with the festive season just around the corner.
I'm feeling good about equities. I think, yes, markets are volatile and they'll always be volatile. But I think the underlying strength is absolutely enormous. I just look at a screen and, 10 ideas pop out. I'm 98% invested. I don't like to take debt, but if I did, I'd be 110% invested. Oh. Things will happen. I mean, they'll always happen out there. But as I try to explain to people, you need to differentiate between risk and volatility. And what we are seeing here is sometimes volatility, but not risk. India and Indian markets is a great place to be right now. I still believe that.
Well, let me speak about more nearer term issues. The volatility which is upon us because of the global movements. How much should we worry about the US presidential elections? Up until November 9th, will it be rocky? Will it at least stop rocking after November 9th?
The elections are due on November 8th in America and 9th our time, of course. And while the polls have clearly shown Hillary leading, there are a couple of polls, despite all the dirt coming down on Donald Trump. I mean, he's had probably the worst week in US presidential history of any candidate with so many allegations against him. A couple of polls have been down only 4 to 6 percentage points, which is broadly within the margin of error. So it's good. It's a horse race, and America is known for its October surprises. Lots of events unfold in October, like the Access Hollywood tapes against Donald Trump, WikiLeaks against Hillary Clinton. 3 weeks to go, a debate left. Lots of things can happen. If, for example, Donald Trump beats the odds and makes the biggest political comeback in the history of the world, probably, markets would react very badly. I think I have no doubt about that. I think the Mexican peso would collapse first. You would have a huge letdown in S&P and the other indexes, and invariably the tremors we felt across emerging markets because it doesn't want to trade. A lot of countries, the so-called heirs of the 60s, 70s built their entire economy in exporting to the United States. Now here's a presidential candidate who says, I don't want NAFTA, I don't want TPP, I want protectionism, I don't want China. I think the market has factored in even the possibility of a Trump win. This is a year of huge political surprises, as Brexit showed us. So I'm not saying that Trump will win, but if he wins, there's a lot more turmoil to be happening there, leading up to what would happen December 14th, 15th, when the Fed meets to raise interest rates. So if Trump wins, I think all bets are off. They probably won't do anything.
But it also feels like a choice between the devil and the deep blue sea, this elections. Do you get a sense that even if Hillary wins, there could be a big sell-off in the markets? Because a lot of people, are calling her names like warmonger, etc. So do you think that this geopolitical tensions could continue even whoever wins?
I think you listen too much to Mark Farber. I don't think so. I think Hillary Clinton will be more of the status quo, which is precisely the reason she's running so weak in the world.
Okay, those macros will always be debated, Ramesh, but let's get to micros. What do you like in the Indian market? Let's start with liquor ahead of Diwali.
Those have been old picks of mine, and they'll do okay. I think there's a consumption boom going on in this country, which makes me so optimistic. You see it in auto sales, you see it in airline tickets, you see it in OMC. So I think those sectors will be fine. But you ask me for a new theme or trend that, there used to be an old saying in America that John F. Kennedy was once asked, what would he think World War III would be fought with? And his answer was that I don't know what World War III, but World War IV is going to be fought with sticks and stones, meaning there'll be a nuclear holocaust and nothing would be left in this world. Now there are about 8 or 9 nuclear powers in this world, and 8 of them have command and control systems. So they're very safe. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing. NATO, Europe, Britain, China, whatever. The only rogue state with nuclear power is Pakistan. So, and they're watching them 24/7. So I just don't think everyone is focused on the nuclear threat in the world. I don't think that's a bigger threat. I think what's happening is 130 countries, 150 countries, all the countries in the world have access to PC. A lot of cyber warfare is taking place in this world. Hillary Clinton's emails were hacked. America promised to respond back. Nordstrom's credit cards are hacked in America. There's so much of this going on. And the power of cyber to go in and lock out an electric grid, getting planes to fly down is going to be enormous. And I think markets and corporates are not underestimating the threat that faces. So as a leading edge theme, which is I think will play out over the next year, I would say look at companies that are in that space